Hello, everyone, and welcome to twitch.tv/the Onyx Path for this, our Onyx Path Con 2026 closing ceremonies. I can't believe
Hard to believe, yeah.
we are there. This is just a couple quick factoids. This is the seventh Onyx Path Con. It's been running annually since 2020. This is the 15th year of business for Onyx Path.
Woo.
And we, to celebrate that, we do have a huge sale going on over at Drive-Thru RPG, up to 80% off our various things.
Our vast catalog.
Yeah, vast catalog. And the other thing I really want to make sure I call attention to before I forget is that in the opening ceremonies, we mentioned the Scion second edition early access Demiplane Nexus has gone up. And so you can head over there right now, get free access to the Jumpstart. If you have a Roll20 account and you merge your Roll20 account with your Demiplane account, if you have Hero and Origin, it will automatically unlock those for you. And if you own
Free of cost?
Free of cost, yep, just instant unlock. And if you own those on PDF, there will be a coupon going out, I believe, sometime within the next week to give you a discounted way of picking those up if you don't already have the Roll20, but you do have the PDF. So
yep, I want to make sure that we also say that the big sale also applies to Drive-Thru Fiction and Roll20. Definitely
absolutely.
Check out our stuff there as well if you want, BTT assets on Roll20. If you want to read any of our extensive fiction for various game lines, the sale is not just on Drive-Thru RPG.
Right. And there's a lot of high quality fiction out there. We've got some amazing writers working, especially in our more recent years here. And it's a great way to dip into the setting of your interest and of your choice, or you're playing one game line and you're kind of interested in this other one. Checking out its fiction gives you an idea of, oh, that's the kind of stories that you can tell there.
If you want to really learn about like the Curseborn setting, for instance, we have a Curse of Tales, which is a great short story collection. I truly adore a short story collection for a game line because it drops me into like various little slices of the game line. That's why I love the Pugmire one and I love the Mal one. Like I love an anthology just because it's like okay, here's 5 to 10,000 words on.
It's like a tasting plate.
A bunch of different people. Yeah. I mean,
it's like a beer flight. Come on.
Yeah.
And who doesn't like that?
And speaking from a fan
I don't like beer.
I don't need a Dixie, but I had to say.
Fair enough.
Gluten-free thing, no.
Speaking from a fan perspective too, because again, I haven't done a lot of work like directly on Curseborn. The Accursed Tales, the anthology, is a really good primer for that setting. It's a really good way to feel like, okay, I grasp kind of what we're doing here. But also, all that aside, it's also just a really good collection of scary stories. So, can't recommend
scary,
it.
Tragic, poignant. There's a little bit of whoa, hey, good job.
There is a spectrum of tales on there. But yeah, it's a very, very, very good book.
Yeah. And definitely like going across lineages and families, so you kind of dip your toe into a bunch of them. Not all of them, because we didn't commission 31 short stories, but most of them are represented in one way or another.
Yeah, and there's a couple where a couple of folks show up.
Oh yeah,
from the various things. So.
Yeah. So yeah,
all right. We did some announcing this Monday, which look. For everybody who sat in on the panels or are going to be watching these panels like on YouTube later on or stuff like that, thank you so much for checking these out. We had some amazing panels. We had huge number of questions, which was fantastic. There's otherwise we'll just talk amongst ourselves. I swear.
Which basically is what the AMA panel was.
Pretty much. The other thing I do want to mention, we had a wonderful panel earlier today with the Bodhana Group, and talking about the various things that they have going on. I'm going to toss a couple.
I think we only digressed like 3 times. It was pretty much on target for Jack. Yeah, or for me.
Wildly on target for y'all. I'm going to throw a couple links in the chat. Branch Riders is the game that they produce. And it may be that I've been doing tech for their weekly show for the last 2 months, but I do want to stress, while that game is designed for therapeutic use and it works very well in that environment, it's also just a fun game. That's a fun setting. There's a lot of fun stuff going on. So even
And
if
you absolutely do not have to be. And in fact, we'd encourage people who are not trained professionals to play it as a game and have a good time with it.
Yeah.
Don't try to do therapy with it if you're not trained to do that.
The actual game book.
That's the important part.
The actual book, Branch Riders, has very little of the therapeutic content. That's a nice separate facilitator's guide.
Right.
So that's definitely like we definitely tried to make sure they were divorced from each other so that we could just give you a fun game. And it is a fun game. It's very different from a lot of what Onyx Path does. The system is really cool.
It's really easy to learn, really fun and fast to play. It's quite a nice little gem.
Yeah, and because there's 8 different worlds plus the Nexus in there, there's a lot of different genre conventions you can play with. And they're all really interesting. So yeah, no, I really like Branch Riders. I think it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Excellent. And I've thrown a couple links, including also the fundraiser that Bodana has going on right now.
But to remember that the Bodana Group is a nonprofit. It is actually something that requires people to help and donate so they can keep doing their mission. And while they're doing games and we're talking about the book and the Branch Riders and everything like that, the Bodana Group itself is doing pretty much sessions daily in various therapeutic venues. Some of them are straight up, hey, we're just sitting down and having some therapy, and others are actually using the Bodana method, which is to bring in board games and role-playing games to express what's going on with the therapeutic needs. So they are a serious group that's out there doing therapy for folks, and they're also teamed up with other groups. Now I don't remember their name, but
let's see, what was the
one of their big groups that they're working with is working with veterans. So people working through some issues. So it's a really good cause.
Roll to Heal, I think, is the one that you're talking
Roll
about.
to Heal. It was the heal part was what I wasn't getting to. So yeah. But for the interest of for Onyx Path games, we did do some minor announcements, minor little things, just kind of threw in there,
just a little bit.
little bit.
So earlier today, we had the panel on Curseborn Covenant, which of course is the next tier of play for Curseborn.
That's right.
We're very excited about it. We knew from the beginning, making Curseborn, that we wanted to do multiple tiers. So we're really excited to present the next tier of play. Since Curseborn, the core book is very much a street level game, and I know a lot of folks wanted to get a little bit more into the politicking and backstabbery, or getting rid of those organizations that might be out to get you and your friends. So it's a little bit higher tier. There's a lot of new spells, rituals, lots of cool stuff you can do, new enemy tags, new enemy dread powers. New enemies in general. So
new adversaries, or at least, and upgraded adversaries into this tier. So those listings that exist in the Curseborn itself right now, right? Like of the power levels of your adversaries, we're actually going to be providing some new material that goes right into those slots. So you'll recognize it; it's part of the system, but now you'll have the actual raw stuff to go with.
Yeah, we also talked a lot more this con about Seattle City of Curses, which we had previously announced. We talked about a little bit. That book, it has been written. It is being edited right now. It would probably be done by now if we didn't have this convention, and so instead it's going to be done this week. Again, sorry, Matthew. I will be done very soon. But yeah, so we're really excited about that. Both Covenant and City of Curses add new families. And some new broods, which are like small offshoots of some of the other extant families, for people to kind of dig into, which I'm really excited about. Curseborn Covenant, like we said, also offers some families that are Fae aligned. It's like good or bad, you decide. You'll have to read it,
and you'll have to see whether they're full of crap or they actually have some sort of connection. You'll see.
Yep, and we also said that as of right now, our plan is to crowdfund this in October, much like we did with the original Curseborn book. It's a good month for curses. So,
it's a spooky month.
Yeah, to keep an eye on that. And we're not saying we're definitely doing it because things happen all the time. Things just keep happening. I'm tired of living in a world where things keep happening. But here
wouldn't it be nice to have a nice, boring couple of years?
I keep saying that I want to live in uninteresting times for once in my life. But no, So we're planning to do that. We're very excited about it. We all love Curseborn very much, and it's been really cool seeing the chatter over the past couple days in the Discord, especially after today's Covenant panel.
The Covenant announcements,
Yeah.
and then the actual details about what goes in there. Yeah, we're just really excited, and of course, we're only going to give a little bit of information now because we do want to piece that out as things progress up until October.
Yeah. And of course, we're always excited for y'all to see the manuscripts for the first time as backers. So,
yep. And if you've been watching Travis's videos for the last 6 months that lead up to, you may, after our panel, kind of understand where some of those videos were coming from and why they were depicting what they were depicting. A couple of them are direct, like, oh, that's what that was, which I thought was fantastic. I was glad that Daniel brought that up. And others are, thematically, I see where, and we may still have some blanks to fill in on there, but it's all connected. There's a plan, just like the Cylons.
Yeah. So that was, of course, kind of our big announcement, which we're excited about that and the Scion Nexus.
Right.
But we also had a couple others, obviously. We talked about Scion 3rd Edition, which is huge. I know that some folks are like, oh, but God just came out. And it's like, well, God's not coming out next year for 3. We're doing it. Like, I was working on Scion almost a decade ago. That was this book I worked on before I was in-house here.
Yeah.
So it's not like Origin and Hero or brand.
So honestly, I mean, and I don't think this has warped my perspective, but Scion, when I knew that I was able to get it from a CCP and make it an Onyx Path, property that we could then, do a new edition of, we were talking about doing that from almost the get-go. Like as long as I knew I could get it, boom. And originally I was talking to our good friend Joe Carricker way back in the day. And then that sprightly little fella came along and jumped in there, and Mr. Neil Raymond Price brought second edition together. So
currently he's bringing cheesesteaks together.
Oh.
I have assigned him.
I could feel your thrill.
I've assigned him to develop cheesesteaks for me. His due date is in about 45 minutes.
Nice.
Yeah,
I'm sure he will do an excellent job as he does with everything.
Well, he's going to just buy them from the place that makes really good cheesesteaks. So yeah, he's doing great.
I mean, hey, that's the developer's job, right?
Don't trip bringing them in the door. That's it.
Yeah. He's commissioned the fine folks at Soko Butcher to,
freelancers.
The freelancers at our local butcher store. Yeah. But yeah, so I have not seen anything about Scion 3. I mean, I've seen stuff about it in the meetings, but I haven't seen a single word of it. I assume it includes the word Scion and the word world. Probably Pantheon, God, Goddess, But I am very much.
I would only say that the only thing you really know that it will include is the word Scion and probably 3rd edition somewhere.
Probably.
I don't know if we're going to do like a Diablo thing coming down the middle. Streaks to say 3rd.
Some claws.
We'll see. We'll come up with something.
It almost certainly includes the word "the" because it's the most common word in the English language.
I got rid of that. Word.
Oh God!
It gave more room for word count if we got rid of the "does."
That's gonna be a weird book to edit. But I didn't have to because Matthew did, so I just get to read it. Yeah. So we also talked about our next Exalted crowdfunder, which is going to be Liminals. One of my favorite new splats. Like I said a while back, I got to play the one in an Essence game for a while, and it was really cool. And so I'm looking forward to getting all the deeper lore on Liminals with the expanded book.
Yes. And it is the first time we're really going to go into deep lore. Essence did a good job of giving people the ability to play them and give a flavor, but this is going to be going right into it. And I think is Sijan the city? And that's going to be featured in that in the book itself. So it should be pretty meaty. It is just something that we've managed to, as we talked about it over the last couple of years. And I think Essence actually helped think, so what? There's all this other stuff that's not going to go there. Oh, we do actually have a full size fat splat to offer folks. So it's going to be pretty cool.
Someone did just ask in chat for people not familiar with Exalted, what are liminals? I'm going to go ahead and answer that real quick. They are the exalted of the Dark Mother. They are Frankenstein type people. They have been put together from other body parts and given some semblance of life. And now they, at least my character was very much struggling to find her purpose. She was like, "Well, you made me. Now what?"
Yeah, I think we all
what
ask
do
that in
about
the
that?
course of a day.
Yeah, they all have
Exactly.
a person, a mortal, I do believe. It could be another exalt in some situations that they are tied to. And I'm just doing this off my character, so if stuff has changed in the actual 3E core, please do not hold my feet to the fire on that. This is just what I know from having played one in essence. But they are super cool, like I said, like Frankenstein-y, Promethean-y type creatures that have been created for some reason or another. For instance, my character was created to replace her weird dad's dead daughter, and she resented that and left. Wielding
Yeah.
her own gravestone as a weapon.
I am my
exalts
own
are weird.
person.
Basically.
No.
So yeah, they're super cool. We also talked about the next Earthbane cycle setting. Oh, and please feel free to put questions in the chat. It's only 5:15
Yes.
and we're almost done with our announcements. So
By all
please,
means.
if you have any questions for us on this panel, this is your last chance at this con to ask us questions. So
You got
don't feel
him.
bad about doing
Throw
it.
'em.
And we'll answer to the best of our abilities.
And we may answer some previous questions as well, again, just to get that on the record a little in two places.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, but we're the next Earthbane cycle setting. It's called Jade Storm. That is
Jade
one
Storm.
word. I've already seen people putting it in 2 words, so don't make it 2 words. It's 1 word. There is a channel on the Discord for it already, so people have been doing a pretty good job of summarizing what we have said it's going to be kind of about and what power sets are going to be like. Sorry, for those who can't tell, there's a cat in my lap. I'm not just like shaking back and forth. But yeah,
Dixie's tail.
this is going to be probably the most of the current Earthbane games. It's very epic. You're rolling bunches of dice. We have some chain abilities, some combos. The setting is very cool, very high powered, and I'm looking forward to seeing it because I didn't work on that one, so I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, it definitely fits in with where we've been going with the Earthbane cycle. You will probably, some people who want to do that will probably be finding parallels and connections to the previous Earthbane games as well, which of course are The World Below, At the Gates, and Monster Kingdoms.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look closely, you'll almost invariably find some connection or other that if you look at it from just the right angle, might look like a Scarred Lands tie-in too, throughout the
Absolutely.
What is really funny about the Earthbane cycle is that I've had so much fun just kind of theorizing the order things are happening in that I have not asked anybody for confirmation, and I don't want it. Like, it's kind of like how I don't want Eddie to tell me where the humans went because I like to just think about it.
I just think that it's in the title. It's the cycle.
Yeah, but it still comes in like a, I'm trying to figure out like causality, chains of events. It's fun for me. I think it's fun to think about.
Google Canticle for Leibowitz.
Yeah, and the other big thing we talked about was the Story Path Ultra license, so that folks can make their own settings, their own games using the SPU rules.
Yep. So we basically have like if we're going to have a graphic for this. I promise. We just ran out of time before the con, which basically shows that our StoryPath Nexus community content site still the same. If you want to do stuff using our IPs, if you want to do a cool take on something that's a StoryPath game, StoryPath Ultra is going to be part of that. Second tier of that is if you want to use the community content and all the stuff that goes along with that, but you want to do your own thing using StoryPath Ultra, that is a way to do it. It has all the same rules as being a normal community content site, so it's not like you could just take things and run. You've got to stick within those sorts of things. And then the third area, and the one that gives most creators a lot more freedom, but is got its own rules because it's a license, is actually licensing the StoryPath Ultra system and using that as your engine for whatever game, whatever setting you're gonna apply to that. So we now have 3 tiers of how you can access our stuff. Strip Path Ultra in particular.
And I actually got to announce I will be releasing a game using this the third party license. Game is called Stomping Grounds. I threw some cover art up in the channel over on the Onyx Path Discord, up in the Straight Path Ultra channel. And the very, very, very short version of that is that it is a game where it was the world outside your window 6 months ago, and then giants showed up in a few places. And those places are now quarantine zones that you're stuck in trying to survive. So,
Right. And it's a modern day setting.
Yep. Yeah. Modern day setting. There's
Except the ramifications of the giants.
Right. And the player characters will not be using magic. You're not going to have any super sci-fi fantasy tech. You're just a dude or a lady or a they stuck inside this sudden quarantine zone. And how do you survive? So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. How you survive, spoiler, is teamwork. Get good with working with your friends. Learn to put aside your differences.
That's very cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I think it'll be fun.
So yeah, I mean, we have examples of the sort of SPU games you could, setting wise, you could roll into in the SPU core rulebook itself. And here's Travis with another example. And there's going to be more that are going to be announced, in the weeks to come. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So that's a lot of the new stuff I think we announced.
News.
We had good updates on a bunch of projects. If you want to check out what's up with the Onyx Path panel when it comes out, or if you have a Twitch subscription, you can check it out whenever you feel like it. We go into more details about the status and of how things work at Onyx Path and getting back into some traditional printing with a few projects. We're slowly getting back into that, carefully getting back into that. That's the reason for the slowness, and also the fact that we have now the ability to fulfill from the UK for backer rewards from our various crowdfunders into the UK and into the EU. So shipping costs for our lovely backers from both of those areas are go down pretty well, actually. And then we'll also be getting our stuff into UK stores more often, more frequently, because of those same the GMS folks over in the UK who we are now working with.
Yeah, we also still have the ongoing Exalted Essence Storyteller's Guide crowdfunder on BackerKit.
Indeed.
We are currently at a little under 300% funded. I would love to see that hit 300%, and I would also love to see over 1,000 backers. I feel like I understand that it's a storyteller's guide, and not everybody is a storyteller. I get it. There's a lot of neat stuff in there, and it's really, really useful.
Yeah.
So I would say check it out. Also, if you're like me, you just want to have the entire deluxe set on your bookshelf because it looks pretty.
Mm-hmm.
That's going for 11 more days.
That's what we
have
tried
plenty
to
of time.
make it. Yeah, we tried to make it pretty. That's for darn sure.
I'm a big fan of the Exalted Deluxes and how they look on shelves. It makes me happy.
Yeah, there's a certain niceness. I think we may have all come into this hobby one way or the other of having like a set of something. Like, those are this book, or those are that this game line or whatever, and I've got these, so you can see behind.
Neat.
All those books, those are all Onyx Path books that we made.
Yeah. I'm super excited about it being the 15th year too, because that means that I've now officially been with Onyx Path for over half its lifespan.
Haha.
Yeah. There you go.
This is my
me too.
8th year. Well, I know you
too.
have.
That's true.
But for me, Matthew, and Eddie, this is cool. We were all brought on about 8 years ago.
In the dim mists of time.
It is kind of wild.
Fugit, as they say.
And somebody mentioned it one of our panels, and it might have been the opening. I don't remember that. To remember that, for most of the time we've been on Onyx Path, we've been putting out something that for folks to enjoy every Wednesday.
Yeah.
Which is 52 projects every year at least.
Yeah, it's wild.
That's 780 according to my calculator.
For a group our size, it is actually well above. We're punching well above our weight.
Yeah. I definitely know when I first came on, there would be weeks and it was like, journal designs. And I was like, I don't know. That's not very cool. Then I'm like, we have put out like 800 things. Some things were going to be merch. It makes sense.
That's right. That's right. I mean, and those are things that people do enjoy. I mean, we have just a steady.
I have a lot of
sort
Onyx t-shirts from Redbubble.
Yeah, sort of commentary coming through from Redbubble and other merch places.
To reach back to the ancient days
BTT
of
stuff.
Television broadcast, Rich, it's their station identification. You need to make sure you're doing your station identification every once in a while.
There's a lot of touchbacks to education that came out of television. Yeah. The weekly blog coming out of the weekly meeting. Think about it, we've had 15 years of Monday meetings.
Yeah, they used to be longer.
Yeah.
You streamline a process or two over a decade and a half, though.
You try to. That's for darn sure. And,
yeah.
What was it? We couldn't find some information for the making of Curseborn book because it was back then we were using Skype.
Yep.
Yeah, to have our meetings. And before that, I think we were doing something else. I don't remember.
Yeah, because the Curseborn channel in our meeting Discord, I think, goes back like 3 years now, 4 years, something like that. We were mostly in emails and just like face-to-face meetings for a lot of it before that, where we took notes in the occasional Google Doc. I was very glad I was able to find a lot of that stuff, but there are some conversations that I'm like, this is my memory of it. Well, which is why after we wrote the making of Curseborn, I definitely made sure that like Rich read it because I was like, this is my memory. I could be completely wrong. This is what I remember.
Right.
We've had a whole pandemic since then, and like I don't know what happened.
And time is funny, and I don't remember things clearly, obviously, myself, but I'm fairly certain there were a good number of Monday meetings that I attended before I knew that Curseborn existed. Mm-hmm. Like it was a not small number of Monday meetings that I was at.
Need to know basis, Travis.
Right. Yeah. No, it's wild that it was kept that secretive. You know what I'm saying? Like, certainly not a complaint. But
I do think, because we are totally virtual as an office, we all work out of our various residency. And so when COVID came, like that was actually something that was, I think, a calming effect for us at least, because we were already talking this way. It wasn't like, oh no, we can't go to the office. It was like, no, this is what we normally do. So this is nice in this time of uncertainty and upset to be able to go, oh yeah, we're having our meeting like we always do. Okay, good.
Yeah. Although I will say that, I mean, we talked about this extensively on the podcast back in the day, but also it's one of those things that a lot of us who work from home are like, oh, this won't change anything. And then that was not the case. And we all
Right.
It did not change where we sat, but it certainly there was a lot of stuff going on in our heads.
Yeah, I think
exactly.
I think we all thought it was going to be a much easier ride than it turned out to be.
Yeah.
There's one thing when you're choosing to be in your house,
Yeah, that definitely a second thing when like I live in a building where our front doors are in hallways, like it's a locked building,
right?
It's like that style of apartment, and so like even just going outside to like take the trash out, it's like double mask, do your hands, like fix everything because you don't know if you're gonna like pass somebody in the hallway, and it's thinking back to the first few months of that is kind of wild now.
Yeah, it is very hard to even comprehend. I always say that it was not the biggest or worst thing that happened with us, but our entire family had planned a trip to Disney World. That was we were going on the planes, supposed to go on the planes. The week it was all getting locked down, everything was getting locked down, and we were watching things locked down, approaching this thing and trying to reach out to Disney and find out, what could we do. It was the last time we felt we could get all of our kids together before they went on their various collegiate journeys, and we didn't get to go on it. We made the call actually before we found out that Disney had shut the Magic Kingdom and all the Disney World stuff down, which good because at one point they had said, you can come. We just won't open the parks. You can stay at the hotels. Why the hell would we want to do that? Right?
Yeah.
But they said, well, they'll probably open up again pretty quick. Well, they didn't.
Pretty
Yeah.
quick, 2 years or whatever.
I don't think it was closed that long, but it was certainly longer than we were going to stay at that hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, our writer and freelancer, occasional developer, Megan Fitzgerald,
Mhm.
she was on the Star Trek cruise when everything started happening, and it was like, oh no, like
Yep.
she had to figure out how to get home, and like
Yeah.
it was a lot. Yeah, no, it was a lot for all of us. I mean, I
But, you know-
moved like a month after it started because me and my best friend and her wife are lovely, and I love them to death. We can't be around each other 24/7.
It's real hard.
One of us is going to kill the other one, and it's going to be them killing me because they are both introverts, and you all hear how much I talk. Like they were going to murder me, and I just we were like, okay, let's salvage the friendship. I'm leaving, but we're still best friends, so it worked.
So it works, yeah, because you make that adaptation. We just spent all the kids were sent home from the various places that they were supposed to be at, so now I have a whole house full of my teenage and up.
Yeah.
3 kids, and so we just played Gloomhaven every afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, that part of it was great, but
Yeah.
it was the only thing that kept my wife sane was we could get everybody away from her.
Give her a little breathing room.
But anyway, so that was back then. But I
Tangent.
think the reason I was even just talking about how we were dealing with it is because it's one of the challenges of that Onyx Path has faced in the course of the 15 years, and I think everybody stepped up really, really well. Tried to back up when somebody went south. We were like, okay, we're going to huddle around and we're going to cover your stuff so you can deal with what you're dealing with all this stuff that's going on. And we had I don't know did we start off with weekly town halls with developers and right?
I thought it was once a month was what we had started off for the main town hall. I could be wrong.
I think we were ready to do more of them if we needed to, and as the thing kept going, we scheduled them in there to try to make it just so everybody could talk to someone. Just had that kind of let's just all talk. Just feel like we're still in this community, and I was really thrilled when that was suggested and implemented because it is important.
Well,
as a freelancer.
And
Also,
go ahead.
I could say there were some really cool things that came of it that I'm still kind of around on. Like I formed a lot of online gaming groups that I'm still friends with. I joined a group called Quarantine Theater where we used to get together and read movie scripts or plays. We would just ask for roles.
Do read-throughs?
Yeah. We would just do read-throughs in our apartments over Discord, and I got to play Inigo Montoya and The Princess Bride. That was really fun.
Nice.
Yeah, no, we just do things like that just to entertain ourselves. Like we weren't doing it for other people. Nobody was watching. We were just
That's
doing
where
it
I don't think it is what you mean.
15 people. It was really fun.
No, and I don't think I would have gotten anywhere near as comfortable running games online as I did.
And had to.
And we're all super lucky, both as a company with the company culture of having that built-in community that a lot of people just didn't have during lockdown.
Yeah.
But also just within the span of our hobby, being people who had something to turn to that was innately geared toward community and was remarkably well able to be adapted to that space,
Yeah.
It was
Gamers will game.
Gamers will game. Absolutely. No doubt there.
All right. And also I just want to kudos to Travis for the way this convention has run. As we said, it's a 7th time, and it seemed to be a lucky 7 for very, very little in the way of technical glitches, mishaps, and explosions either in front of the camera or behind the camera.
Yeah, we lucked out. Thank you all so much for saying as much, and thank you in the chat for the nice words. We have definitely had more challenging conventions in terms of tech. One thing I did want to just touch base on is that we did in planning this. We start planning usually beginning of the new year,
Yep.
We start really talking about, okay, what's going to be going on at the con, how's it going to work. And I was telling Rich, it requires a little bit of like measured procrastination, because like I can't send somebody an email in February and expect them to know what they're going to be doing on June 7th. Like, so you have to wait a little
Most
bit.
people, yes.
Most
Yep.
people, yeah. Some people. But yeah, so it's been really cool. I really want to thank everybody who's helped make it happen, in terms of people that are running tech, people that are running games for us. We have pared it down a little bit from previous years, but I think that's allowed us to have a laser beam focus on the games that are really important to us right now, the big news that is really important to get out in front of people, and give people a chance to play games that maybe they haven't seen or wouldn't have otherwise seen in terms of the actual plays. I also do want to thank our partners over at Start Playing for helping us put up the convention event. I think there still might be a couple of games lingering that you might have a chance to slide into. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that link in the chat as well. But
no, it's because it's virtual, we have to play virtually. And this is the Start Playing's been great to do that with, and we've been doing actual plays at Plastic Age Plays.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep, that is it. That is correct.
Very good.
So,
I finally got it right.
7 years is all it took.
Yeah, I'll mess it up tomorrow when we're talking. Don't worry.
It's all good. I also, if you don't mind, I do want to touch base real quick about a couple of things that we talked about in the Scarred Lands panel.
Go for it.
In case you're unaware, my company, Aegis Studios, we've been licensing Scarred Lands from Onyx Path to publish for the Savage World system from Pinnacle Entertainment, which I licensed that from them. If you've been following, we had a successful Kickstarter at the end of last year for the Scarred Lands Player's Guide that is now off in layouts. So that's going to be going out to people for errata soon. So if you haven't pre-ordered it, get in on it while it's still available for pre-order.
While it's hot.
While it is hot. Also, we talked about what's going to be in the Adventure Atlas, which is the working title of the first crowdfunding stretch goal that we raised for during Kickstarter. So we got in detail about what's coming in that. Lots of adventure conversions from previous editions. And I made the briefest drive-by mention of what will be the first, Savage Worlds original material being created. I just got approval from Rich before the show for a plot point campaign that myself and Matthew Dawkins are working on regarding everybody's favorite Titan, Garak the Glutton. And I really just mentioned that it was happening because we're really in the
guy. And honestly, the outline was gross. I mean, it's just oily and greasy and gobbets of flesh. It's totally within both of your wheelhouses. So it's gonna.
It's one of the best emails I've ever gotten. I think I'm going to print it out and frame it next to my desk. It just said "gross approved," and like gross in like capital letters approved. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait.
Paladins will be constantly throwing water over their armor.
So fun. So yeah, that's going to be coming soon. TM. Well, again, we got the pitch has been approved. We haven't even outlined it completely yet. So yeah, that's on the way too. So if you have not yet checked that out, I would invite you to do so. I'm going to go ahead and pop a link in the chat to the Kickstarter because you can still pre-order it.
Cool. I mean, speaking of pre-orders, we have a lot of Earthbane cycle stuff that's also still able to be pre-ordered. Secrets of Common Chaos, I think it's still around there. Monster Kingdoms.
Yes.
I love Monster Kingdoms, and I think it should get even more love. So.
And speaking of Earthbane, people who generally tend to watch these also check out the Monday meeting notes where we get the progress of various projects. But Earthbane news. At the gates is going through some serious layout right now. So it'll take a little while because it is we're trying to make it ultra special. play off of what anybody who was involved with that crowdfunder knows. It's a very different and rich visual project, and we don't want to rush any of that or not include the very specific look we were going for.
Well, and if I can piggyback on that just a touch, Rich, too.
Is it about Scarlands?
No, in
Okay.
fact, it's not. It's about just sort of general stuff that we discussed at the con. And I don't want to make a huge deal out of it, but one of the things we talked about was some of the delays with At the Gates were related to, a health issue that one of the artists, very central to the look of the game, was experiencing.
Right.
And I know I'm overwhelmed with joy to see when people are excited about our games coming out. That's super great to hear.
Yeah.
But things sometimes get slowed down, and sometimes they get slowed down because there's somebody who's making decisions that we can't directly control, and that's making life hard for everybody. And sometimes it's because one person is going through a really, really hard time, and we can't just hop on the Monday meeting notes and say, "Hey, this person's sick." You have
to give people room to resolve what's going on, and not to feel like here's another thing that's being thrown in my face.
That's part of why I like working here, is because I've gone through some mental health stuff, which I've been very open about. Like I talk about my mental health issues, and I've been given room to take time if I needed to, or step back from a duty if I needed to, without it being like, well, if you don't get better right away, we're gonna fire you, which is what most jobs would do.
The third item on the Monday meeting notes is not like Dixie needed some time in the quiet room, so there's not going to be any new streams this week because Travis took a grippy sock vacation.
I'm not sure I understand that one, but
when you go to the facilities, they give you socks with little grippies on the bottom.
Grippy sock. Okay,
grippy
that's better.
Yeah,
that's not what I heard. So this is much. What you're saying is much better.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Grippy socks.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. So I mean, and again, and
that's the nature of this business, and you don't see a lot of it because again, it's not something that really we should be publicizing. I don't want to say, hey, look how great we are with everybody who has a hard time, but creative people have ups and downs, and when you get input, and that's how you do creative stuff, and sometimes that input can go bad, and if it's bad news and it's bad things are happening around you, like we were talking about the whole COVID period, that's really tough to adapt to and just do what you're supposed to do, because we're not machines.
Yeah, I mean, in a time like that, it can feel like you're spending all your creativity trying to figure out ways to stay sane.
Right.
And then it turns around and they're like, "Oh, do you want to be creative for your job?" And you're like, "It's gone. It's all gone.
Right.
I used it all putting a puzzle together and making 3 batches of marmalade, and now I can't. Now I just need to watch dumb TV. Remember when everybody watched Tiger King? That was weird.
I was so glad I didn't do that. Yeah.
I watched it. It was.
I'm not a big reality programming person.
Me either. And yet, it was just a thing everybody was doing in 2020.
Like a sideshow circus thing.
It was.
And part of why I bring it up too, I mean, and again, I certainly do not want this to come off as like I'm chastising anybody or as any sort of even judgment, but
don't chastise me, Travis.
I'm hoping that that events like this show how much the people at this company love what we do and love what we're making. And so when you're frustrated a book is not out, I promise so are we. When you want that thing on your shelf, we do too. So just, please try to be a little understanding when
I mean, I wish that every book could just spring fully formed from my head like Athena, but that's not how this works. It'd be really
no matter how hard you stare at the screen, you cannot actually make it work by your brain alone.
Yeah, I keep hoping that I can start editing through telekinesis, not having to sit at the computer and just
none of us is Kronos. We're not going to crack our forehead open and have a fully formed book come out.
But why not? I think that should be what happens.
Wouldn't that be cool?
My father cracked my head open to get a book once.
But
Johnny Dangerously reference, my father did not crack for any reason.
Yeah, no, we all very much love what we do, or else we wouldn't be doing it most likely. Because it's not a we've talked about this at length. I'm sure you've heard us talk about it, but like indie RPG publishing is not the number one industry in the world.
Yeah,
Yep,
this isn't.
we make millions of cents.
Yep.
Yeah, this is not something that you do to if you're interested in getting rich.
Yeah.
But if you're interested in stories and gaming and having a good time with your friends and just having your imagination run wild, this is a phenomenal
Yes.
business hobby combination to be involved in, and it's been a joy for 15 years to be helming this motley crew, this pirate ship that veers from port to port.
Well, and in case I don't tell you often enough, Rich, thank you for the opportunity to be a part of it. Thank you for doing this, and giving us a place to be able to tell stories with our friends for a living. Because what a cool thing to be able to say you do.
And in return, I work you mercilessly. So
right, yeah, exactly.
No Monday holidays, as my wife complains every Monday holiday.
Although it does mean that when you're first meeting people and you're not sure of their level of nerdiness, you get to do the whole like, oh, I work in publishing. You go, oh, what kind? And I go, oh, I edit
genre.
You're like, oh, what kind of book?
Publishing.
And the minute that they say what kind of books, I have to go, do you know what Dungeons and Dragons is? And if that's a yes, I can make it easy. But a lot of the times they're like, what? And I'm like, okay, I work in publishing. I edit books. I make words good.
Yep. I think people understand those sorts of things. I run a publishing company. Oh, what kind of books? Tabletop role-playing games. And either they go, what, like D&D? Or they'll say, what's that? And I'll say, like D&D?
And then you get one person.
You've seen Stranger Things, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then you get one person in 30 who's like, that's so cool. I wish I could do that. And that makes it kind of worth it. It's really fun to meet the people who.
I'm amazed at the number of people where I have a chance, if they're actually interested, to extrapolate down to, we do D&D does fantasy a lot. We do some fantasy, but we also do a lot of horror. And that's where I came from. I worked with a company that did a lot of horror games. I really, what kind of stuff I used to do role playing. Did Vampire, White Wolf. Yeah, I was there at the beginning of that. Yeah. And then I can say, but I've got my own company and we're doing our own things. And here's this amazing stuff that we're doing. And it's one of the reasons why Curseborn feels so good.
It did let me be really petty once, which was fun. I was my local game store that I play at is usually it's a very inclusive, super cool. It is POC queer woman owned. So clearly, like, they don't let any bullshit happen. There was a guy one time who was kind of lightly mansplaining Cyberpunk Red to me, and I got to let him talk, and I let him talk, and then I pointed at the core book that was on the table, and I said, "My name's in the credits of that book." And he was like,
"Yep."
Oh.
It's nice flex to be able to drop every once in a while.
Every now and then it is super fun at like a convention or something when someone just starts getting weird, and I'm like, yeah, I know. I've worked on Star Wars. Bye.
Yep. No, I mean, I've told you guys the story of the time I was, my wife had gotten she's a churchgoer, and she had her new pastor came in and to visit, and I don't have a lot to do with that aspect of her life, but here's this guy, and he's walking around our living room, and I had back doing Magic the Gathering art, created this character we call the Stuffy Doll.
Stuffy Doll, who's right behind you on your shelf.
And that's the one Lisa made for me. And I have a triptych of the Stuffy Doll getting pinned by pins. It was illustrated by John Bolton for Wizards of the Coast. They decided that they were going a different direction. And so John, amazing illustrator, fantastic painter, asked me, would I be interested? I'm like, what do you mean? I can't, you've done a painting of my guy, and would I be interested? Yes. And so, we made a deal, and he signed it, and the whole deal. So that's up on the wall. And Pastor's looking and goes, wow, you must really like that doll from Magic the Gathering, because I recognize it. I'm like, well, yeah, I created it. Beat. You're that Richard Thomas. And I couldn't get the guy out of my house or my life.
Been there ever since.
Yeah, he just lives with you now. It's weird.
Yeah. No, we still go out to dinner with him and his wife, though. So.
Yeah, no, it's just funny when you have those moments. And like working in this hobby has given me so much joy. I love meeting people at conventions. I've made so many friends that are like very good friends, whether or not we work together. I've gotten some really cool working opportunities, just from talking to folks, meeting people. And at the end of the day, like I mean, I get to sit here in my pajamas, which from here down, I'm in pajamas all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And make books.
Yeah, I don't go that far because just on that off chance that like, oh no, there's a fire, I have to get up. I don't want to be on camera in my pajamas, but
I don't care. They're black joggers. You can't tell what they are.
And you're also more agile around the camera space than I am.
Yeah, Rich is like pressed. Well, you're pressed in there too. You got a little blue screen hanging right behind you. I have the void of nothingness behind me. If a fire starts,
It's straight clear right here though. Like this is the way to the exit.
The fire exit.
I mean, there's only one exit from my apartment.
Little arrow.
One of the other things that, speaking of that though, and speaking of like having like the online community, I mean, I play in a game regularly with somebody who lives in Australia. It's wild. I have friends on the other side of the planet solely because of this hobby.
What time is that game?
That game is at 7 p.m. on Sunday nights.
It's Central Time? U.S. Central Time?
So he's getting up in the morning and
playing.
Yeah. We had an incident at last Sunday's game where he was grinding his coffee, and I was like, "Is everything in Australia deadlier?" Because his coffee grinder sounded.
Actually, it's two wombats jammed in there. They're both munching on the coffee grinder.
Nah, I got a kangaroo jumps up and down on my coffee beans.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's getting up at like 7, 8 in the morning, whatever it is there, to hop in on the game. And
we're always aware for logistics, of time zones now with Eddie and Matthew being in the UK.
Yeah,
Travis's Central Time, which is not that hard to figure out.
Yeah, Travis and Danielle, right?
Danielle Central, or is she even further out?
She's in Texas, last I knew. So yeah,
pretty sure she's Central.
All of Texas is Central, I believe. But yeah, no, it's funny because it frustrates my friends in real life because I often tell them like, I live on Eastern time. Like my company's on Eastern. I plan on Eastern. That's just kind of what I live by. Because so many things.
But only 3 of us are in this time. Well, I mean, four if you count Lisa. So there's 4 of us that are in the Eastern time zone. Everybody else is scattered.
Yep. And if people want to get paid, they should count Lisa.
I do count Lisa. She just almost never talks in the meetings, and so it's easy to.
Yep. She just wants to stay informed. She doesn't really want to tell anybody anything. Actually, she wants to tell people a lot of things, but we would never get stuff done.
I want to hear about Lisa's day. Tell Lisa to call me once a day.
Sure. She'll tell you about how she, is walking around without pain, which is really fantastic.
That's
That is awesome news.
Double knee replacements is what she had, which is now official in public. I'm sure that's great.
You got a bionic wife.
Tell me about it.
That's cool.
It's been a weird year.
We were saying she doesn't have the sound effects though.
I'm glad that's all going.
And that's it. I mean, it's all we've been through a lot of this stuff. I mean, 15 years, all the various people and all the various things that we've all been through. And it is wild to think back on that, and how many people who we're particularly now with CursePro, we're getting a lot more people coming in who don't know any of this back history, and probably don't need to, but we're gonna talk about it all the time anyway. We try not to, like in regular talks and in regular panels, try not to add too much digression into the antecedents and all the back history and all that stuff like that.
It just feels like our coffee chat wrap up, though. This is like us like having our last drink at a con before we all leave and just like chit chatting.
Oh, those are the days.
If there's a time for reflection, it's the end of the closing ceremonies. It's the
no, it's been a joy, and got to do some some projects, and I know you guys feel the same way. Just stuff you just never dreamed would be able to be involved with, or have that bit of your creativity applied to it. What makes it all worthwhile.
And I'm very proud of all of my work. I take pride in what I do. I love what I do, and you know, all joking aside, I do think I'm pretty good at it. I've been at it for a while now. But like, if you had told 16-year-old me that I was going to be developing M20 Sorcerer, his head would have exploded. You know?
Yeah. I said the same thing about teenage me and getting to work on anything vampire, because that was
Right.
one of my first, like, it was my first role playing game. I played D&D as like a child with my mom's friend, but it was the first one that I got into of my own like free will with my friends, and you know, on my little
Enter
god friend.
freely and of your own will.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, because I was 14 in '99, so yeah, so I like got into it in high school, and then played it all through after high school, and not just Vampire, but like all the White Wolf games and a bunch of other games. But you know, got into it through that. Then I met Rose Bailey in 2007, 2008, something like that, and you know, we were close. And then I kind of drifted away again, and then drifted back into it a few years later. And it's just kind of wild that like I keep coming back to these folks. Like when I first met Eddie at a con, he was like, "Oh, nice to meet you," and I was like, "I was at your 30th birthday party."
Yeah.
And
But you were a civilian.
Right.
I was absolutely a civilian. I was some girl who was dating Rose Bailey.
Well, and I actually want to share this with you, Dixie, and I hope to share with Rose at some point. Travis just saw Masters of the Universe,
Oh, I'm so
and
excited.
apparently they were selling various mugs and things, and one of them was Skeletor, and I was like, oh, got to get one of those for Rose, because of Rose would, for Halloween at least one year came as Skeletor, and besides the Halloween thing, would often entertain us with Skeletor voices.
Yeah.
And the one
Little
thing
known fact about Rose Bailey.
the one thing I did want to mention before we disappear too, just piggybacking off of that, it's wild to think, and I do deeply believe that somewhere some 16, 18-year-old kid is going to crack open a copy of Curseborn and in 15 years be blown away that they're working on Curseborn, you know, 20th anniversary.
I'm pretty sure Onyx itself is in like the fourth generation of our folks in terms of freelance talent, writers and developers and stuff coming through from all the way from the White Wolf years, and then I was one from that. I was a fan of that. Oh, great, good. So you tried this one, and I'm a fan of that person's work. Oh, okay, great. So that's but I think we're on our fourth generation.
Yeah, I mean, we've got some of our freelancers who are close to half my age, which means that they were, you know, not born yet.
And we're always looking for new folks and talented folks. It's just you know, a whole bunch of hurdles to jump over, but it's when you get there, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and we do try to hire new people on every book. So that's something that we've talked about before. Not every book, like a little tiny supplement doesn't need a new person generally, but most of the bigger books we try out new talent. So you know, try it. Also, as Ian said in the chat a few days ago, it was 15 years ago, they called into the White Wolf blogcast who were doing a Q&A about B20. And when Rich and Eddie heard his voice for the first time, Eddie heard Ian say his name and went, "Oh my God, hang up."
Well,
Everyone knew who Ian Watson was.
He said, "Take off, eh?"
I love it.
So you guys ready for the bell?
We are ready for the bell.
Yes, it's time for the closing bell, and then I could eat my sandwich. Unfortunately,
since you can't hear it, I'm going to make the sound of the bell.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Ready.
This is the silver bell that closes the ceremonies, and where we'll be done. Onyx Path Virtual Gaming Con 7th edition. And here it goes.
See you, folks.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for